making tonight is 40 clove garlic chicken. And it's so super simple. And when you make it, you'll be like, oh, this is me? Yes, it's all you. So easy, but it tastes so good. And since I'm gonna put some potatoes and peppers in with it, I'm just cutting up the last of my sweet pepper and taking out the middle. This is one of my favorites. I love this one because it doesn't take a lot to make it, and it has that home cooked taste. Like it took forever, slow cooked it. Just a roasted chicken, that's all. So, okay, that's the last of my peppers. I'm also gonna make some Swiss chard, so I'm gonna chop up this onion to saute for that. And you can chop your onion pretty much wherever you want for it. Doesn't have to be big or small, particular size. A little bit more than I thought I would need, so I'm gonna use 2 large vanilla onions. So okay, don't need that. And then for the peppers, I'm just gonna cube them basically because, again, I'm just gonna roast them with the chicken. So, like I said, quick and easy, quick prep. You can even do this on a weeknight. Nothing to it. Have leftovers and all that good stuff. But you are not gonna believe how much flavor it has, and it's only what, like 4 real ingredients. I'm gonna season it with fresh herbs. I have some fresh thyme, I'm gonna use that, and I also have some rosemary that I'm gonna use too. So I already preheated my oven. I'm just gonna lay down the cloves of garlic, and yes, you can cheat and use the peeled clove garlic. I used to think that I had to, you know, get the balls and then shell them all, and it took forever because I thought that the flavor would be different, but it honestly is the exact same flavor. So take the shortcuts where you can. This is one of them. Even good cooks do it. So just lay down some of your garlic like that. Go ahead and salt it because it's going to help it to caramelize quicker. Salting the garlic like that, and just a little bit of black pepper. You know, you always hear cooks, or at least I do, because obviously I love to cook and I watch a lot of cooking shows, and you always hear them, you know, saying that they're only going to season with salt and pepper, and I'm always like, that's a trick. They season it with some other stuff. But it really does give it a lot of flavor. This is a butterfly chicken. It was just a whole chicken, and just with the spine removed, so it's butterfly. So actually, let me salt and pepper that up real quick. And you do have to, I don't know, if you consider yourself heavy-handed with salt, then you'll probably season your chicken perfectly. But I'm a little bit on the light side, so I have to do what's considered heavy salt to me in order for it to be seasoned perfectly. But it's really not a lot of salt. It just seems like it to some people who might not really like a lot of salt, but it comes out perfect.
What you would say about a teaspoon or a tablespoon of salt?
I would say, yep, about a tablespoon on each side.
Same with pepper?
The pepper is really a personal preference. I mean, I would start off with a, you know, 1/4 of a teaspoon, and then see how that looks to you, and then work your way up from there. Because, you know, you can always add more, but once you put too much, you pretty much are done. And I just like to season the inside liberally too, because that's where a lot of the flavor is going to come from. Okay, so that's one side. And I'm just going to lay it over. Well, that's not true. Normally I would just lay it over it, but because I want to get a perfect caramelization on these garlic cloves, I'm going to drizzle those too. With a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. And you can be pretty heavy-handed with that, it's fine. No worries about that. Okay. Lay my chicken in. Covered. You see how I pretty much just covered the garlic cloves? Chicken. So I'm gonna salt and pepper the second side. And I have my shaker set to fine, so I know y'all like, dang, that's a lot of salt. It's really just barely coming out. It's coming out really, really fine. So it might seem like a lot, but it's not. And I'm just grabbing my rosemary over here so that I can add it. This is the thyme, and it basically just comes on the stem, you know, thyme, just like the rosemary, and you just pull it down and get your sprigs. And with fresh herbs, you can use a lot more than you would with dry because it's not as concentrated and it won't overpower it. Give it just enough. That's probably a teaspoon and a half actually. Might look like a little bit more, but it's not. And rosemary is really strong, so I try not to use too much of it. It's more woody and earthy than the thyme. The thyme is, you know, more light and not as heavy. So that's maybe a quarter of a teaspoon of the rosemary. So a little bit more pepper. We like it seasoned well. Alright, I wanted to make these a little bit smaller. So you see I just had the wide strips and then I just cut the strips in half to make cubes.
And again, these are sweet bell peppers, correct?
Yeah. Yep, so these are sweet bell peppers. These are all, you know, they're all sweet peppers. But the red and the yellow and the orange, they have a different taste than the green peppers. They're literally sweet.
Right.
So when you roast them up, they have such a good flavor. You wouldn't believe the change just in roasting them in the oven. But I think, to me, it just has the best flavor. And you do too.
Oh, I love it. I love it, and I never used to eat peppers. Well, I know I don't like green peppers, but unless I cut them up very fine, then I'll eat the green peppers. But if the green peppers were chunks like this, yeah, I wouldn't eat it.
No, we wouldn't do it.
That looks beautiful before it's even cooked.
Thank you.
The presentation looks nice right there before it doesn't even hit the oven.
So because I know you're a real meat and potatoes kind of dude,
yes.
I'm going to add some potatoes in here. Now, you know I normally wouldn't put potatoes because I'm going to do rice too.
Right. But
remember how good those last roasted potatoes came out? You liked them so much.
Man, them Jones. Yes.
So I thought you might like it with potatoes with the roasted garlic. So these potatoes were really hard. I don't know why they were so hard. So I just boiled them real quick, just for a few minutes. And you know, they're not mushy soft, but they're just, you know,
What is it?
Al dente.
Al dente a little bit?
I don't know. Does that apply to other potatoes too? If so, then they're al dente. Because they're not all the way soft. So, yep.
Yeah.
Al dente just means a little firm. Alright. How does that look? You think that's enough potato?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. The potatoes were already salted. I salted the water that I boiled them in, so I didn't want to put any more salt on them. If y'all are wondering why I didn't season them, I'm just going to drizzle everything with the olive oil because it's going to roast for about 45 minutes to an hour. If your oven gets real hot, then you probably won't want to leave it in too long, but you'll be able to tell when you look at it when it gets to 160 degrees also, but you'll be able to tell when you look at it when it's perfect. So I'm going to shove this in the oven. My oven has been preheated for about a half an hour now, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven, and then I'll get back to y'all so we can start making that wild rice to go with this chicken. Okay, and now I'm getting ready to make this brown rice. I found this and it's so good. I know you have tried regular brown rice, but this is called Royal Blend. It has red rice, wild rice, brown rice, white rice. Ladies, if y'all love carbs but y'all want to do it right, I'm telling you, this is a move to make. So I'm gonna just jazz it up a little bit. I had some dried cranberries and I just plumped them up with this pomegranate vinegar. So that's the liquid that's in that bowl. So they just, you know, pump it back up. And I'm just gonna saute a little bit of shallot and roast my almonds. And this, of course, we'll add later. But I'm gonna saute these up together in a little bit of butter and the rice. And you know how you make rice-a-roni and you brown the rice up first. That's a great trick for any rice, actually. I mean, probably not plain white rice, but like when you make jasmine rice. So I shouldn't be doing that. Just melting a little bit of butter. And actually, I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil in here. Y'all know that if you add a little bit of olive oil, you can bring the temperature up on the butter without burning it. So you can saute whatever you need to saute without the butter browning and looking and tasting burnt. So there's the shallot. And that was about 3 small shallots. It came out to maybe, I don't know, 3 tablespoons of shallots. And I'm gonna let those get a head start. As a matter of fact, the almonds too, before I even add the rice in. But so I'll just roast those up just a little bit. And not too high. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna also make some Swiss chard, or really it's red chard. So while I'm waiting for that to do its thing, I'll go ahead. I chopped up 2 large yellow onions, or medallion onions. So sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and use olive oil. I was trying to decide if I wanted to do butter too, but I won't. I'm gonna saute and sweat these onions out first. And like I said, it looked like it was a lot of green, so I'll use all of the onion. And let those sweat out. And it sounds and smells like, ooh wee, it smells so good. And I'm just gonna eyeball it. I'm gonna put maybe 2 cups of rice in here. And I can use just a little bit more butter. I used about 3 tablespoons total of butter and about a tablespoon of oil. And it probably looks a little bit dry, but that's fine. You really want it to toast up a little bit, that's all. And you're gonna add your liquid to it and then bring that up to a boil. And I learned